I'm actually a avid One Piece fan, but I wanted to just take a trip down memory lane and go through the various different openings. Because sometimes there's little clues and hints and foreshadowings that you didn't really pick up beforehand. And sometimes those moments kind of make you think that Toei might have had a little bit more knowledge than you thought they did. And it's also a great way of just looking back to where we were before, what we started with, and working our way back up to present day. So, fanboy, won't you? As I technically re-react to every One Piece opening. Let's jump in. Of course, starting with the classic first opening. I remember when I first saw this for the first time. I started with 4 Kids, and then I jumped into this opening. And I was so caught off guard by how different it was. Listening to We Are for the first time, with a little bit of practice, I could probably recite the entire song by memory. I honestly was interested with the series from the jump. Luffy jumping out of that barrel, instantly intrigued. I thought Zoro was cool, I thought Sanji was cool, Nami and Usopp, I was just interested in. It just seemed like this fascinating world that I was just ready to explore. Honestly, the opening always made me think that the Sea Kings were going to be a deeper part of things. Not really. I always thought the crew would run into them a lot more often than they did, but they never did. Interestingly enough. Wielding 3 swords, I never would have thought of that. And Sanji's kicks are always cool. Usopp, I thought was a goof. And Nami, I just considered the girl. And something about classic Luffy. This style, this animation, and Shanks. It's funny how much of Shanks we see in passing, basically. Opening 2. One of my favorite openings. I love this song. Although the visuals, not the best, but it's still just such a fun time. And just seeing all the various different people that our crew have loved and had relationships with, and this, that, and the other. This song is so 80s. I just have this obsessive love with 80s songs. East Blue 5. That's the thing. The crew is always at their best when they're at odd numbers. The initial 3, which was Zoro, Luffy, and Nami. Then the 5 with Sanji and Usopp. Funny enough, I don't think we saw Nami use her staff as much as we thought we would. Oh man, there's so many great moments. I do feel like this would have been a great moment to have included Vivi. This should have been the opening that had Vivi in it, honestly. Yeah, well, what can you do? Opening 3! Another of my favorites. I love all the Straw Hats just coming in. And again, that multiples thing. Now this was the classic, a very classic lineup for the longest time. The 7? So good. And I always love these still shots of everyone. And then the trend of everyone just showing off their various abilities. You see it in the first opening, but this is where it really starts to come into play. Although Sanji's just showing off his cooking, as he should. And the classic all-around shot. I can only imagine just how much effort it took to create such a fascinating tracking and around shot of the ship. You mostly only ever saw the crew acting like an actual crew on a ship. Most times, usually just in between arcs and during openings and endings. Usually in the openings, you can just see the characteristics of the crew so well defined. I think this was the one opening that had the least amount of stuff from the actual story arcs in it. And then this still shot. Alright. Bon Voyage. Another great opening. So many of these openings are so fantastic. Ooh, Nami butt shot. I miss Robin's cowboy hat in current day. Seriously. Robin in her cowboy hat is so iconic. Yes, everyone. You remember when Dofi was just this dude off to the side? God, I can't imagine the crew having faced him earlier on in their adventures. I always love this shot. So everyone just slowly fades in. I miss Nami's evil shirt. It was cute. And again, Robin in her cowboy hat. So iconic. Yes, run into the light. And then all the various trauma and relationships they've had and suffered. Some of these would be changed around drastically now, and they're just in a random dinghy. And this is a cover spread that was made to include Robin, which I always wondered about that outfit they put Robin in. It's so nice. Robin in black leather? Yeah. And this was the opening around the time when I actually caught up to the anime. Well, started to catch up to the anime. This was the newest opening during that time, and I loved it. There's so much personality in this opening. You know, CGI Mary doesn't look as good now, but oof, during the time, I was all about it. Yeah, Water 7 was just going in the manga, and I had actually been spoiled on Frankie joining, only because Oda had put like a cover spread of Frankie with the Straw Hats, and I kept wondering, okay, when does Frankie join? Because it hadn't even happened in the manga or in the anime, so I'm just like, when does Frankie join? But Water 7, yes. Facing off with Okiji. Yeah, this is the first opening that really have action in it. I love that shot of Sanji just flipping through the grass. Usopp using the dial. Kaku, Khalifa. Usopp versus Luffy. Versus the Frankie family. Nami with a gun, which rarely ever happens. That weird rivalry between Lucy and Polly, which was completely faked, I guess, which was unfortunate. You know, it's unfortunate Polly wasn't, like, really involved with things. And this, which really started to get into just putting color spreads in these openings. And of course, your classic all around the Mary shot. We made this 3D model. You're going to look at it. And of course, introduce our crew. You can see how the boobs are just getting so enormous at this point. Buggy, Blackbeard, oh man, Tashigi and Smoker, Ace, Whitebeard, oh man, Doflamingo with the Suru and the red-haired pirates, oh my god. Like, you always had those images to remind you that these characters exist. They're prominent. They'll be prominent at some point. Oh, you weren't kidding about that. And now we're deep into the CP9 territory of Enies Lobby. Bluno getting one-shotted. Zoro versus Kaku, amazing. Sanji versus Khalifa, which wasn't a thing really. And then Frankie, brief glimpse of Frankie. That's all you get. Just a brief glimpse of Frankie. And then Monster Point Chopper and this iconic moment. Anime's just like, yes, we know this moment is iconic. So good. Gonna skip over this one. It's just the Straw Hats rendition of We Are, which you might be thinking, blasphemy. I listened to it plenty on my personal time. And this crazy rainbow star. I think this was the last opening we had to marry with. Fully CGI ocean. We've gone from CGI ship to CGI ocean. And the lineup. And of course, visiting Random Island. Yes, adventure. Them shopping, Zoro sleeping. I love the little details just going on in these openings. It just always oozes so much personality. And it always feels like, hey, this is what's just happening in between their various different adventures, even though it technically couldn't happen in certain situations. Mihawk, who we barely saw. Ace, who we barely saw. Shanks, who we barely saw. In the grand context of things. And Luffy, going from barely being able to take on a ship to just annihilating a ship all by his lonesome. I love the detail of Luffy and Chopper in a boat so that they're not in the water because of their abilities. And of course, Sanji catering to Nami and Robin. And there was always this somber tone to this moment where you see these empty places and then you just see the Straw Hats just randomly in these moments. Yep, form up. So much. And here we go. And this was the moment where I was fully caught up. By this opening, I was fully caught up. By the time we were on the Sunny, like, I was caught up in the anime, the manga, everything. And this opening is basically, hey, have you checked out our new ship? Check out our new ship. Have you seen our new ship? look at our new ship. I also call this the opening where the people weren't sure what to do with Frankie, aside from having him steer the ship. Also, Brooke, who looks a little funky because, this is his introduction, more or less. Classic, everybody show your skills. Everybody kind of always looked a little chunky in this opening, too, for some reason. I don't know, something about the animation style in Random Adventures, and you just see Frankie in the background just looking on dumbfounded, like, what is going on? And it was always so weird to me. Like, they didn't know what to do with Frankie. Buggy, Smoker, Aokiji, Blackbeard. Yeah, get that out of here. Oars and Moria. Luffy just coming in with that mighty kick to a battleship. He's become a full-on menace. I always loved this part. He looks so cool. And then the docking system. Some reason Sanji at the helm. Gun. Submarine. Like, seriously, Frankie outdid himself with this ship. The Mary is always just gonna be such a tour de force. I love the Sunny, but man. I mean, I love the Mary, but the Sunny, just, whoa. The things that the Sunny can do are just so far out. This opening was always kind of fun, because there was this exciting vibe to it, but also this chill vibe. Also, they started to understand Frankie by this point, and I love the Sunny just off to the side in the background, casually strolling as everyone fades in. A classic. Let's go! And Usopp left behind. All the friends we've made along the way. Which was always odd, because Kobe appears like he did back in the day, despite the fact that should be updated or whatever. Past villains, another close-up on everybody. Like, these openings always felt like they were really trying to make sure you were endeared to the crew. And this always took me off guard when they were just, like, doing the whole thing with Vivi. It was just like, this is the first opening that really had Vivi animated in it. Not saying it was bad, it just took me off guard. Like, why are you making me remember Vivi? Like, Vivi and the Mary. But it felt like a moment of, hey, these are the straw hats we left behind, basically. Oars, Gear second. And this opening was really trying to be like, you see Brooke? He's gonna be the new crewmate. You see Brooke? You see Brooke? Marines, Gorosei, all the guys. And then the showdown between Ace and Blackbeard, Dragon, Whitebeard, Roger, Shanks. Shanks for the memories. Shanks always looking as mysterious as possible. This are my all-time favorite. Honestly, I probably should just rank some of these, but it's like ranking my children. And let's go, everybody. Oh, we share the music. Come on, let's go, baby. Oh, we share the one dream. And this fight scene with Kuma. So intense. So intense. Luffy. Zoro. And I love the fact that, like, some scenes, it's two of the Straw Hats actually together in one place. It's such a fun little attention to detail. Also, this was the beginning of them lightening up Robin's skin tone. Like, you start to see it here, because this was the point where they were separated. But I guess, like, they corrected her very much. Like, that wasn't really a thing before. They kept a lot of the other Straw Hat skin tone changes, but they really corrected Robin's for some reason. On this scene with all of the supernovas. Who would have known? Knowing what we know now with the supernovas, how important they ended up being, like, my God. Celestial dragons. Oh, man. Amazon Lily. And the significance of Boa Hancock and her connection to Luffy. It's big. Not as big as you would hope it would be, because we haven't seen her in a hot minute, but big. Jinbei. Going through Impel Down. The levels of hell. Through Dante's Inferno. Oh, man. I love the action in this moment. Yeah, thinking back to this, it just makes me think, man, I wish we had more time with Ace, honestly. like a story arc, a few more moments, something. Now this is actually my least favorite song. I don't hate the opening, it's just the song just doesn't do it for me. Which is weird because it has the Straw Hats singing with the one singer. Gotcha. I do love the fact that everyone's cooking together. Nami cooking with Sanji, Frankie and Usopp making this alpaca tank. Zoro, what did you think was gonna happen? You were never gonna win against Robin. And Chopper just conducting an orchestra with Brook. You know, with Zoe currently in the series, I'm surprised we've never come across more giant animals with islands on their back, basically. Honestly, when you think about it, it's just like, yeah, it feels like it should have probably happened more. Cover pages. It's kind of weird seeing them animated. Yep, Robin has gotten so light by this point. She's about the same skin complexion as Nami. And Robin will continue to be lighter until she is the lightest of all the Straw Hats. I know it's a weird thing to harp on, but it just really takes you off guard when you're paying attention to it. And I love the detail of Luffy reacting to the various different levels as he goes across them. That salute that Hannibal gives, like, my god, controversial. Seeing all the Shichibukai together, the admirals, seeing Whitebeard in action, oh my god, all this stuff is so legendary. Oh man, things that happened during this whole moment. And then this opening, which was just like, hey, somber shit is on its way. Somber shit is on its way. I think this opening came out after the death of Ace, and it just completely takes you off guard. Because I remember reading, because I was reading during the time that Ace died, and I was like so caught off guard, and I just kept thinking, he's gonna be okay, he's gonna be okay, he's gonna be okay. And then it hit me that he wasn't gonna be okay, and hit me like a freight train. This is another one of my favorite openings. I love the little moments with the Straw Hats on the ship too. Just such good little moments to just let you know how much the animation crew really knows the crew by this point. And these little asides, little moments for everyone. Whitebeard, Marco, Jozu, Vista, Oars Jr., Rayleigh, Shanks, Crocodile, Buggy, Jinbei, Ivankov, the Supernovas, or the Super Rookies, Blackbeard, and Luffy thinking back to his past with Ace. Probably a lot of moments after Sabo had died. And then the Marines, Sentomaru, Kuma, Doflamingo, Moria, Mihawk, Boa, Smoker, Kizaru, Akai, Aokiji, Akino. I'm sorry to blank on some names, but there were so many characters during Marineford. So many characters. God. I don't know how Oda managed to handle them all so masterfully. Hell, even during Wano, he's handling all the characters so well. It never feels like you've completely lost track of them, because he always makes sure at some point you know. And this opening, the right before the time skip opening, I love this song. Like, the visuals are good, but the song, I know what I'm supposed to do. The emotion, God. Like, we gotta get stronger, man. We gotta get stronger. Zoro's training, Nami's training, Usopp's training, Chopper's training. It has a big head now. Brook's training, Robin's training, Frankie's training, Sanji's training. I always loved Sanji's part. The way he flowed and moved, just, Sabo. Looking like Oliver Twist. Honestly, Luffy's friendship with Ace and Sabo really does explain so much. And I love this moment with the various different moments with Luffy and the other Straw Hat. When he came in and helped them, when he encouraged them, when he got to know them, when he did something for them, when he stood up for them. Although, Frankie's moment came when Luffy was asleep, which always gets me. And this little moment, Ace pushing him forward, which the anime did with Nami and Belle Mare all the way back. I always love that kind of stuff. Anime love to do stuff like that, so cheesy. And it's like, hey, take a one last glimpse of how everyone looked pre-time skipped. You ain't getting this again. Fight together. Alright, we've made it to the time skip. I was so excited when the time skip happened. Although, one thing I have to admit, I was not a fan of almost anyone's designs when the time skip happened. It took time for these designs to grow on me, and to see the crew in some other outfits too, like Luffy. I wasn't a fan of his frilly sleeves and all that. I know, it's just like, how dare you? It's just nice to have the crew back together after a absence away, which is ironic because they would be split up a few arcs later. Like, there was always some element to the way they looked. Like, wasn't a fan of Zoro's big coat, wasn't a fan of the fact that Nami just didn't have a shirt on constantly. Sanji, his hair being flipped over was kind of weird to me. Brook with the crown, Frankie and his whole everything. Although once I knew that his hair could come back, I was just like, yes, that fixes it. That fixes it. Usopp's hat was weird to me, which is a weird gripe. Chopper and his hat. Although finding out that it's just a covering under his original hat was kind of weird. And then Robin doesn't have her cowboy hat. Honestly, if Robin had a cowboy hat, it'd be a perfect outfit. I love this transition from Roger to Shanks to Luffy. I just love that moment. It's so good. Running off to another adventure. But now it's just like, yeah, it's just a thing to me now. Like, I'm completely fine with it. I've spent enough time with their redesigns. By this point, I've spent more time with their post-time skip designs than their pre-time skip designs. Hands up. Not my favorite opening, but I do enjoy it. It has its little moments here and there. And of course, the little moments for the Straw Hats. Nami looks so cute with glasses. Zoro, Jesus. Make your medicine, Dr. Chopper. So cute. Sanji looks so happy. And then Frankie and his weird smile. Robin gardening. You don't see that much. I actually really love that shirt on Luffy. Punk Hazard. The true start of the battle with the Yonko. You didn't know it, but you were in it deep by this point. Like, it was gonna be Yonko abound. And it's only now that we're really having some of that payoff. Momonosuke, Kinemon, Caesar, Doflamingo, like everything is only just coming to a head now, which is essentially like 10 years later. It took 10 years to finally deal with all of this. And Law, my god, I never would have guessed how important Law ended up becoming. What a crucial character. If you had told me, I never would have believed it. Like, I would have thought, okay, Punk Hazard, we're gonna have Law and then we'll move on. Nope. Okay, Dressrosa, we're gonna have Law and then we'll move on. Nope. The Flying Sunny. Fly towards the sun, Sunny. And then cover spread stuff. Put your hands up, gangsta style. And then their anniversary outfits, which I do have to wonder, like, some of the events in this opening always feel like foreshadowing. 15th anniversary, jeez. That always gets me. Just shenanigans on the ship. Another day on the Sunny, basically. And some fan service in the opening. I do love the hijinks that Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper get into, though. And then suddenly Marines! Marines everywhere! No Green Bull, but Marines! But Luffy versus Akainu, you know that's gonna happen. Zoro versus Fujitora feels like I would love to see that. And, Sanji versus Kizaru? Dude. Which I guess that would kind of leave Jinbei to face off against Green Bull? Maybe? That's my assumption. That's my assumption on how that's gonna go, but I don't know. You gotta love pre-time skip Blackbeard going up against post-time skip Luffy, because the anime didn't know what Blackbeard's design was gonna be. These outfits always get me. Nami's looks like it's just gonna fall off, and Robin's looks like it's gonna fall off her hips. And then these moments where they just started switching it up from time to time. The Dressrosa stuff was pretty fun, though. And the meteor. That was so insane when you had Fujitori bring down a friggin' meteor. Jesus. I loved this opening when it first started out. Like, deep into Dressrosa, this was a favorite of mine. just because of all the characters that appeared. Like, it was the first feeling like, yo, Luffy is really building essentially his own personal army to a certain degree, which essentially he is, whether he wants to or not. That always got me. It's just like the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. It's in full effect. Like, let's form up on Luffy. Form this whole team. Let's do it again. I love Zoro wandering off in the background. Usopp singing, which I thought was better than that. I love everyone sitting down to a feast. All the Coliseum fighters. And some importance put on Bartolomeo and Cavendish. Yes. They were the standouts of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, and the tradition of scenes where the Sunny has come to pick up Luffy. Everyone's showing off their abilities. Haven't had that in a hot minute. Ah, man. Usopp doesn't use the Impact Wolf as much as I thought he would. And then just the entire cast. Like, you wonder why Dressrosa was so insane? There you go. And Sabo. Yeah, Sabo! And Senor Pink. Kiros's fight, it was a good thing and a bad thing, because just like Robin didn't get to do anything, but at the same time, it was Kiros's fight. And Zoro versus Pika, Luffy versus Doflamingo, and Boundman, and all that. Like, say what you will about the pacing of the anime at this point, but it was still a lot of fun. In hindsight, it was a lot of fun. And this was the kind of transition from Dressrosa to Zoe. Certain elements of this opening always felt a little weird to me, like some of the editing and the compositing. I love the little party they're having on the ship though. Rock out. And now it's the time for the poneglyphs, and I love the emphasis they give to Robin, because it's just like, Robin, you're gonna be super important going forward. You're the one who's gonna help lead us to the One Piece. Oh man, the Shichibukai, the Supernovas, facing off against the Beast Pirates, which is funny because they ended up going to Whole Cake after this. Like, the anime was getting you hyped for Beast Pirates, but it didn't go that way, which was kind of weird. It's just like, you ended up in Whole Cake instead, dealing with Big Mom, which was fine. It was actually, like, really fine. Like, some really cool stuff happened in Whole Cake. And while a lot of people have a lot of shit to say about how things went in terms of with Sanji, like, it was a shining moment for a Sanji character for me. And yeah, this opening, which was just like, you're in the heart of Whole Cake Island, baby. Get ready to rock. I love this song. The visuals are great, but this song, oh, snap. Wish I could snap. Like the weird running that everyone is doing. It's funny, but it's weird. The emphasis they put on Sanji is pretty fun, though. It was also nice to have Jinbei featured in an opening as prominently as this. Luffy facing off against Big Mom, which was more of a challenge than he was ready for, honestly. You know, we talk about Big Mom not being anything. Like, Big Mom gave Luffy the business during this time. And here it comes. Katakuri. I wish Smoothie did more, though. I really wish Smoothie did more. Capone Beige. I never would have thought I would love Capone Beige as much as I did. Oh, in this moment. So iconic. So iconic. Luffy versus Katakuri. One of the best fights. And I also love the Germa. They're assholes, but I love the Germa's outfits. Like Nazi Sentai, Nazi Super Sentai. Yeah, there's just a lot of things about Whole Cake Island that I really love. Honestly, on a whole, I like the Big Mom Pirates a little bit better than the Beast Pirates. I know that sounds like blasphemy, but I just love the sheer number of interesting characters. You know, the Beast Pirates feel like they should be more interesting to me, but no, not really. Yes, we've got superpowers. My relationship with this song is kind of weird because I love it, but it's also just really weird. The Mirror World is one of the best locations. Yeah, the Straw Hats were constantly up shit creek during this entire segment. Jinbei, some shine on Jinbei, the shine on Brook. Nami had a few great moments. Chopper got to do a few things here and there. Could have had a little bit more here and there. But this opening knows the main event was Luffy versus Katakuri. That was the big showdown. And Sanji's romance with Pudding? Oof. Beige. And Carrot. I still believe there's something big for Carrot in the future, because this moment Oda gave her, dude, come on. There's gotta be more for the future. Speaking of the future, Luffy's future sight, and then the Germa showing off their moves. There were just so many fun moments in Whole Cake too. Like, reading it and watching it could be tedious at times, but just some of those moments are still just such fantastic takeaways. Snake Man? Dude, Snake Man? The animation for that moment for Snake Man was worth everything. Everything. Like, I don't care how any of it turned out. That showdown with Snake Man was beautiful. And then bam, we're in Wano. It always takes me off guard how fast we end up in Wano right towards the end of Whole Cake, despite the fact of how much time Whole Cake took up. I always love this moment. Yo, this is the we're in Wano itself opening. I love the outfits. Ninjas and Usopp's outfit. Robin looking beautiful. Frankie looking ridiculous. Zoro had some great moments. And then the opening that spoils that dangerous Kanjuro and all that. You know, Sanji in his raid suit. Oh, I'm gonna miss that raid suit. Oh, the raid suit was so good. And Law and Kid and Komurasaki, it just, I love the way this opening is composited and animated, and then you get the preview of events happening in the actual episode, which isn't bad, just, Luffy breaking free. It honestly spoils so much that is about to happen, but it's still fun. It shows Luffy putting up more of a fight against Kaido than what actually happened, and spoils Kaido's dragon form too. But it's all good. Kaido's dragon form is... I'm gonna be sad if Kaido ends up dying, because his dragon form is so badass. His dragon form is so badass. I love this opening. And then you have the opening that is essentially, we're transitioning from Wano to Onigashima. This is a great opening though. Although this opening ended up being the one that lasted the longest amount of time. Like literally, it was around for the longest amount of time. I love this moment between Luffy, Law, and Kid. Jinbei's here! And the backstory too. Roger versus Whitebeard. Mwah, beautiful. I always love this shot of Luffy having Zoro and Sanji form up with him, and with Kaido just in the background. It's such a cool visual. And then King and Queen, and such great little shots and moments. It was like, Toei knew, it's just like, Luffy's fighting a friggin' dragon ogre man. We gotta put some shine on every moment we possibly can, especially when it comes to fights. And then the anniversary opening. 1,000 episodes! The insanity of it all. Did I think that it would make it to 1,000 episodes? Kinda, but kinda not. I never really considered it like that. Just, it's gonna get to 1,000 episodes. And I love the style of this. The quick cuts of everyone. And this opening just showed me that my gripe with the way Luffy looked honestly just came to a way that sometimes he was animated with that frilly shirt. Like, depending on who was doing the modeling and the animation on him, it could look fantastic. Luffy through the ages, everyone showing off their skills and style and all that. Such a good moment. They've really been trying to make Robin as cute as possible in these openings too. Oh man. I love it when Luffy lands on the deck. Captain on deck. And those flashes of all the allies, so good. It's so good. Man, this brought back some great memories. And I love just having Jinbei along with the crew and all that. And now I'm caught up. This opening, I think they got the Hungry Days people to work on this. Seriously. Because the way the animation looks, like, whoa. It's beautiful. Straw Hats rolling out. Kaido and the Toby Ropo, and I'm still wondering about that iced over log post. There are little spoilers here and there, but Yamato's backstory. Oh god, I can't wait for that. little bit more of Ace, Marco. I wonder what that's about. And that way that Kaido spirals into the sky, the various different clashes, which really do spoil the Toby Roppo, who we haven't seen what their abilities are, but it's whatever. I love this little moment with Ulti and Page 1 too. Massive clash. Split in the sky, baby. And I love that Law and Kid are supporting Luffy, which it's true. That's how it goes down. They end up being some of Luffy's biggest supporters, whether they want to or not. And I love these little moments with the Straw Hats pairing up. It happens from time to time in the openings, but not that often. These fun little pairings. Man. And that's it. I really do love seeing Jinbei on with the crew, but it's just it's like I said earlier before, you gotta have those odd numbers. So we gotta get 11th crew member, and if we go past 11th, we gotta get 13. So my opinion is always going to be that it's either going to be the 11th crew member I would love it to be Carrot, because we spent so much time with Carrot, but, there's this big push for Yamato too, and I wouldn't mind both of them coming on board, and then we also get Vivi. So 13 Straw Hat crew members, and then bam, you get your odd number. It always ends up being the shining thing for the crew. Because having 10 members, it evens things out, but no, the Straw Hats aren't even. They're always going to be odd, Getting close to 25 years of the anime, and as of this year, it's 25 years of the manga. That is 25 years of One Piece. And I think, it will end in 2027. Because if Oda takes 5 years to wrap up everything else, that's plenty of time to wrap everything up. If we spend maybe 2 years in Elbath and the last 3 years wrapping everything up, if not finished by the end of 2027, it'll be done by early 2028, which is fine by me. I don't see this going into 2030. Well, the anime maybe. I don't see Toei just brushing One Piece to the side after it's done. I see sequel adventures, other things going on, because that's the thing too. Even once they find the One Piece, there's so many islands that the Straw Hats never explored or went to, had any involvement with. I don't know. Who knows what'll happen? See, I am interested on what the One Piece landscape will be once they do find the One Piece. Will that be the end of it? Will Luffy die? I don't know. I don't see Oda killing Luffy off at the end of things, just because of the way he's been approaching the series. But once Luffy does become the Pirate King, will people be hunting him down for his treasure? Will it be battles against formidable opponents? Will the Straw Hats go their separate ways? I don't see that either, because it's just I would think that maybe if the manga doesn't address it, I think that once we find the One Piece, we'll have a montage towards the end of the manga of Luffy helping all the various Straw Hats achieve their dreams, or do what they set out to do if they haven't already done it by the time they get to the One Piece. And then the anime will just expand all of that. Kind of like what happened with Naruto, because, what happened in between the final battle in Naruto between Naruto versus Sasuke and then the actual end of the book, they put so much content right there and then, an entire season of anime right there. So I could easily see Toei doing something like that for One Piece. Luffy finds the One Piece and all that, has all the final battles, and then it's just little moments here and there leading up to the finale. Because, of course we're getting to the One Piece by the end of the series. Zoro versus Mihawk, I definitely see happening towards the end of the series. I can't see that not being resolved by the end of the series. Nami's map of the world, I could easily see that just being basis for, us ending out the manga with, and then they went about having future adventures, the stories for another time, which the anime will just expand upon different areas that they went to, because there's so many places they skipped over in the Grand Line. So many places they haven't even been to. Places in the, South, North, West Blues that they haven't been to. Places on the Red Line that they haven't been to. Like, there's so many other places that the Straw Hats have never explored. Other Sky Island. I can't see Luffy not wanting to just explore as many places as possible. Usopp, I mean, of course we're going to Elbaf. I'd be so shocked if we didn't go to Elbaf after Wano. Sanji, I think the All Blue will be, revealed around the same time as the One Piece is revealed. Robin will find out the true history along with the One Piece. Frankie's ship will just be sailing to the ends of the earth, which Frankie will be down for. We need to reunite Brook with Laboon, which I feel like will be a fairly easy task. I wouldn't even be surprised if Laboon shows up during whatever final battle we have. And with Jinbei, his goal is a lot more nebulous, but it's definitely tied in with the Noah and Joy Boy and all that, and with all the information we're getting in the manga and stuff, that's definitely going to be tied in with the One Piece too. So something big is going to happen with the Fishman towards that end, and whoever joins the crew in the future, because Oda has kept Vivi as kind of a part of the crew to a certain degree. And with whatever happened to Vivi, I think that it would be important to have her involved. With what we've discovered about Zoe, I mean, having Carrot involved would make a lot of sense, and even having Yamato aboard the crew would be kind of cool too, because I feel like as the child of Kaido and Kaido's lineage, there's something about Kaido's lineage that is very important. That's the thing. And I feel that might also have some relation to the history of the world. So I think Yamato should be on board as well. That's the thing. I feel like the last few Straw Hats who join, their whole thing will be all tied with Joy Boy and the One Piece specifically. That's what I feel. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for joining me for this trip down memory lane, essentially. Let me know what your favorite opening is. Let me know what theories you've kind of formed over the course of the series, where you think things will end, how things will end, how things will end in the manga versus how things will end with Toei. Do you think there'll be a sequel series or something, like The Adventures of Luffy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I want to thank you so much for indulging me with this. I love One Piece so much, and I just wanted to take this trip down memory lane, and I'm glad to have shared it with you. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I ain't your daddy, but I still love you like one. Until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.